How to communicate with women effectively. I'm sure you've heard this saying before. Communication is the key to any relationship. It sounds great, but do you really know how to communicate properly and effectively with women? I think it's really easy to tell people that communication is important in a healthy relationship, but it's not as easy to explain how to communicate. But first, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified every time I publish a new video. Here are 5 magical tips for communicating better in a relationship. Number 1. Respect your girl. Before you even get into notions of how to improve your communication with a woman, you need to have some respect for them. That's the first rule. Our society has historically been one where women have less power and are taken less seriously. It's those attitudes that are transmitted to both men and women in childhood and can be difficult to unlearn as adults. Before we can have better communication between men and women, we must first eliminate the pervasive, under-the-radar negative attitudes toward women, says Metzman. It's important for you to know her worth and be aware of what she says, not just press the TV remote while she speaks. You must understand that her feelings are meaningful and just as important as yours. This way you will see that you naturally attract more women into your life and start communicating better. Number 2. Improve at listening. Now, you have to understand that the first step of effective communication is listening before you talk. Working on your ability to listen then is paramount. This isn't something that will just happen automatically, but if you're conscious that you want to improve at listening, you can make it something you truly attempt to work at on a daily basis. Women want men to understand them emotionally, so the first thing you do is listen. Just listen. Hold off on offering solutions until she feels heard. Ask empathetic questions. Let her know you understand. Part of that is also wanting to listen, meaning you should cultivate your curiosity about how she feels and what she thinks. Ask more questions. Be curious about your partner and their needs. Really taking the time to listen to understand and not respond can go an incredibly long way in helping your communication skills. Number 3. Pick up on nonverbal cues. If your partner says, "My day was fine," but their tone sounds irritated, upset, or angry, then there may be something else that they are feeling but not yet ready to communicate. Communication is not just about the words we say, but also how we say them. Our tone and our attitude give away a lot more than just the words coming out of our mouths. And it's honestly a skill to be able to pick up on those nonverbal cues. Look at her facial expressions, her hands. Are they trembling? Her body language. Is she making eye contact? Is she crossing her arms? And listen to her tone of voice. This way you will understand how they are feeling inside. And if there's something negative you see, you can help them out. So she will understand that you care for her and she will want to talk to you more. Number 4. Don't try to read their mind. Sometimes you can tell just by looking at someone what they may be feeling. It's not always easy to do this, and let's face it, as much as we want to be mind readers, we are not and shouldn't have to be. So if you're not sure what your partner is feeling, ask them. If you are the one holding things in and expecting your partner to read your mind, take a moment to appreciate the fact that your partner is making an effort by asking you what's going on rather than ignoring the problem. Do your best to let them know how you're feeling when you're ready to open up about it. It's not healthy to say you're okay when you're not, and then get mad at your partner for not figuring it out. Be honest about how you feel to the best of your ability and try to express it in a healthy way before it gets to the point where it blows up and someone says something they regret. Being direct is always better than being passive-aggressive. If your partner is the one who is guilty of being passive-aggressive, try letting them know that it's not really helpful for either of you when they're not honest about how they feel. Of course, it's awesome when we know each other so well that we can practically read each other's thoughts and know exactly what to say in the right moments. But we are human and we may make mistakes sometimes and miss cues that seem obvious to our partner or vice versa. It's important that you both make an effort to better understand each other and be patient with each other too. Number 5. Share problems without attacking. When you are talking about your hard feelings, it can be easy for a conversation to slip into conflict if your complaints end up sounding too much like an attack. One way to get away from that is to change the way you frame your frustrations. When you communicate with your partner, share problems from the I perspective. Instead of saying, "You did X and why did you do Y," which breeds defensive behavior, try speaking from the personal I and saying, "I felt hurt when you did X," or "I felt so frustrated and confused when you did Y." This can help reduce misunderstandings and demonstrate patience and compassion rather than your communication feeling like an attack on their character or personhood. As a man, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the way you communicate, but being able to understand how women approach communication and the way it's different from the way you're used to can save you and the women you're interacting with a lot of trouble. That's all for today. Hope you liked the video. If you did, then do give thumbs up and comment below what type of video you want next. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to this amazing channel to get videos related to dating and relationship advices.